Hello dear traders and welcome to the Forex Traders Show, our weekly program. This is episode 1, How to Trade Forex Successfully, the Offside Head and Shoulders Pattern. Guys, have you ever wondered how to identify reliable trading patterns with higher success rate? Well, this video will answer that question and much more. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. New episodes are coming every Friday. Hello dear traders, welcome back. You're looking at the Aussie dollar. Guys, I wanted to show you this really interesting formation which is usually overlooked by traders, mostly because it's not the ideal formation, it's not the ideal pattern, the same pattern that is presented in all the books and all the literature. This is what we call the offside head and shoulders pattern, right? As you can see, I've marked down here the neckline. Basically, I'm presenting you a pattern that's being formed right now as we speak. Basically, the right shoulder is still under construction. Right, this is about to break, but I wanted to touch base on this particular situation because, like I said at the beginning, the fact that this head and shoulders pattern is far from being ideal, right? It's not horizontal, right? It's not symmetrical. So first, it's hard to identify, and second, for some reason, traders tend to believe that it's hard to rely on. It's not, it's not reliable. But I would argue differently. I would say this. First, you should train yourselves to look for these offside head and shoulders patterns just as well, because they are abundant. We can find them equally to the ideal setup, if not more. Actually, they're probably more abundant, and they carry the same weight. That's the bottom line. It's not that they're less reliable. I don't think so. I actually think that they're equally reliable, sometimes even more. For example, in this case, the inclination is towards the downside, right? We got the right shoulder lower than the left shoulder, and the whole formation is kind of tilted to the downside. That's actually a strong indication that we will have that downside break, that downside breakout, right? So right now, looking at the head and shoulders pattern, obviously, usually you know how we like to marry the head and shoulders pattern with a reliable key level system, right? Without a reliable key level system, it's really hard to work with those traditional patterns. They don't work well on their own, right? They have to be coupled with a reliable key level system. Here we have our cross price matrix system, and you can see that price is coming from the upper section, right? And after taking the previous high, crossing below two key levels here. We have the 68.69, that's actually a big one. It belongs to a bigger setup coming from the weekly chart. But also the 68.42, it's another important local support, local key level, the mid-high key level of the purple system here. Both are very significant. So when we see price kind of edging, taking the previous high, edging higher, generating, basically producing the head, right, and then turning back down, crossing below these two key levels I've just mentioned, and basically making its way all and start to build up the right shoulder. That's pretty much what's happening right now. So when you marry these two elements, right, we have the offside head and shoulders pattern that's about to land on its neckline and then of course break out, and the fact that price is coming from the higher section on our key level system here and making its way towards the lower section. Both these elements together are quite explosive. So you can probably guess what I'm trying to say. We think price is heading downwards. According to what we see here, it should be heading it should be chasing these key levels. I want to show you the potential targets here. The first one, 67.27, probably don't need even introduction. This is the mid-low key level of this purple key level system, right? But I want to show, but this is interesting. We have another key level here, 67.34, which is actually manually placed here. I've placed it here manually because this is a Fibonacci projection. Whenever we have a head and shoulders pattern, whether it's an offside head and shoulders pattern or a perfect one, it doesn't matter. You always measure the head when it begins to break, right? The head in regard to the left shoulder. While we start to measure the move from the base of the head on the left shoulder, right? From the bottom to the top, 161.8 Fibonacci projection, the most important Fibonacci projection, will put you right here. And this is what we call a cluster, right? We have these two key levels so close, so close to one another that they form this kind of unit, which is a strong support in this case. So we feel that we're going to have a breakdown and it could easily reach that level, but here it might actually turn back up for either a complete upside reversal or just a bounce back as a form of a technical correction. But this is pretty much where we would take a breakdown here, 67.27 and 67.34. This is the area we think the Aussie dollar is going to end pretty soon, probably in the next few days or so. Unless, of course, it's not going to break that neckline, start to turn back up, and we'll have to, we'll have to get back to square one with this one. Alright guys, that's about that. Aussie dollar looking pretty interesting right now with that offside head and shoulders pattern. That's about that. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.